97-yard run.
Hey road owners, welcome back. So I am going to do 3 videos today. This video is specifically about the game. What I saw, what I want to talk about for the game. So let's get to it, right? So the game. Biggest game of the season? Not to me. Not to me. I alluded to it in the last game that I was good with whatever the results happened because I felt like the road owners accomplished anything any team could be asked to do to accomplish. They just put the cherry on the top. Now, let's talk about one player first and foremost. The elephant in the room. The BMOC, the big man on campus, right? Frank Harris. If you didn't know it, because I surely wasn't keeping track of it, because I was doing more my fair share of seeing what the defense was doing, how the defense was getting a push. He was 32 of 37. 5 incompletions. You know, 1 for each finger. Well, the thumb's a finger, but we call these fingers and the thumb. We're not European. So 4 fingers, 1 thumb, 5 digits. He was 32 of 37, 341 yards, 4 touchdowns. His QBR rating was only 81.5. Now, I have no hope. I have no hope. Nothing whatsoever. So that's where like QBR is like bogus. Because wouldn't he be like 1,000? At least over 100. I know. I'm exaggerating. But how is that not like perfection? 5 incompletions. Okay. We'll take it. 4 touchdowns throwing. 1 touchdown running. That touchdown running was beautiful because I don't want to say the Red Sea parted, but he caught them slipping. And when he ran that, you could see that they weren't like really looking at him. They were worried about other players. And he saw that. And before you know it, Frank's faster than people think. He's faster than he runs like. Like when you see Kavorian hit the Jets, you know he's fast, right? With Frank, you don't realize he's running as fast as because he's so smooth. I think he only made 2 bad decisions all game. He got away with them, right? The one where he's scrambling, we end up kicking like a 40-something yard field goal. But if that was almost, that could have been intercepted. If he just like scrambles and then dives forward for like 5 yards, makes anything, his stats look even better, right? But he was seeing the field. Seeing the field really good, except for that one draw where he ran right into the guy. It's like the guy was right there. I maybe he's looking so far downfield that he feels the pressure and knows to run. He's not worried about the lineman, right? He's not looking to the lineman because if he's looking at the lineman, he's not looking downfield. So maybe that's what happened there. Great game. Great game by him. He dropped some dimes. He really did. He hit players in stride, and when they were wide open, they could just ease up, still be running, right? Now, Kavorian. Holy guacamole. Did you expect that? See, I didn't expect that. That offensive line did a really good job of creating seams, but on his first touchdown, guy sitting next to me, got to give Michael credit. He said, right up the middle. And as soon as Frank handed it, he goes, told you. And I mean, he hit the Jets. He was gone. From where we sat, it was wider open looking than it would be if you were on that side of the field. Because it looked like, I don't want to say like the Red Sea parted, but it looked like he got a big enough gap that he could hit that hole full speed. And when he hit that hole full speed, he's gone, right? You saw that was a beautiful run. And then when he bounced that one outside and they caught him by his shoulder, his sleeve of his jersey, that was, he almost got there. They had the angle on him. He almost got there. So offensively, we kept them spread out all game long. They refused to defend the wide receiver screen. It was amazing to me. And I think ultimately why they did was because we could run the ball so well on that first drive when Kavorian took it to the house, right? I think that stopped it. They were like, no, we got to worry about this running back because he's going to take it up the middle on us. And he did. 28 carries, 175 yards. He outrushed North Texas's rushing attack. Single-handedly by 3 yards. 570-something yards of offense, 580 yards of offense. These kids set out to prove something, and they proved it. They weren't messing around. They were taking this trophy. I'm going to say an unpopular opinion. I think we're better offensively. It's going to sound weird, and I'm not putting down DeCorian or JT. He's a fantastic football player. But I think we're better offensively without him. Maybe too many chefs in the kitchen, right? It could be that kind of thing because we went to Kellogg a lot. If you didn't notice, and he's tall, he's 6'5". I think he just creates that dynamic that gets in the defense's head a little bit. That's what I mean. You got the 1-2 running backs, right? A lot of teams have that in college, the 1-2 running back. And there's something about one running back fits better in this situation, one running back fits better in that situation. And I think right now, what happened was the way we changed, maybe a four-star offensive coordinator changed scheme. Cephas sure caught a lot of wide receiver screens, man. Wow. Right? I'm just saying, and maybe Kellogg is faster than the other three wide receivers, and that's what helps. He's just probably faster off the line, just faster top end. Probably not as good as a route runner, right? So you can use him more vertically. I've been talking about it. I've been saying, put Carpenter in the slot, run him right at that free safety, get that free safety's eyes, and just boom, go. Right at him, right? Maybe that's what Kellogg brings to us. Tyke had himself a game. He really did. Offensive line did a great job. Blocking. They created holes, and there's only 3 times. 2nd and goal, 3rd and goal, 4th and goal. See my face. How about a jumbo package? Now, I say that. Because then when North Texas was in that situation, I go, watch what they do. You know what? They run their same offense and put it in the end zone on us. So there went that teaching moment from the stands by me out the door. But still, I would love to see McDougall. He's a redshirt senior. Be put in that backfield, and you just turn him loose. Hit whoever's in front of him. And let Kavorian follow, or Cobb follow. It was great to see Cobb get a play there. And he got 5 yards. We're talking a player that is out of shape, that's coming back from injury. They put a hole there, and he ran straight through it, right? And he dragged some players with him to get that 5 yards. This wasn't like he got hit immediately. He got 5 yards, then got hit and put down. No. He earned probably 2 or 3 of those 5 yards. It's a running back's job. Offensive line gets that hole for 2 yards. It's a running back's job to get an extra yard, an extra 2 yards. And he did it. Man, what an offensive performance. They did not come out flat. Now, one thing I did notice, and you've heard me harp on this, North Texas, I don't remember them rushing 4 with a blitzer and dropping 6 or dropping 7 back 8 to 10 yards. I don't remember them doing that all game. And maybe it's because once we exploited that and figured that out, that they realized they couldn't do it. That was a losing proposition. So they went back to a more traditional defense, for lack of a better phrase. I do know that why on earth do you win the toss and you defer against UTSA in Conference USA? I would never give UTSA the ball first. Because we went right down the field on them. And if we get that touchdown on our second drive, this is a silly game. We get a field goal, it's a silly game. Now let's talk about the defense. Were you worried about them at all? To me, I wasn't really worried about them as more, because I expected there to be some fireworks. I expected them to be able to throw the ball better. They really couldn't. I was impressed with that small adjustment. But as the game went on, we started getting a little bit more push from our defensive linemen. But we also, with their running back, when Mayfield, I think it really hit home, when Mayfield ran down that running back, when he had to come from a dead stop, turn around and chase him, right? I think that the defensive line and the linebackers realized we were possibly over-running, over-committing, over-pursuing, whatever phrase you want to use, right? We were running ourselves out of the lanes of where he would run because he's really not that fast. He's fast enough, but his full speed allows him, right? It's not like he doesn't. His full speed when they run the draw is that kind of full speed that he can zigzag, wiggle, waggle, right? There's no half speed running for him. Once we figured that out, I feel like we kind of that's where we gained control of the game. Now, modern football, modern Conference USA football, G5 football, shutting people out, I mean, that's hard to do. So to do 2 in a row like we did, it's pretty impressive. But to back up, well, close to 2 in a row, Rice scored. But to back up a team like North Texas to 27 points while you score 48 is pretty impressive. Really, really impressive. They really, I don't want to, it's hard to say because there's modern football, right? Like they called that pass interference. That was all the announcers on us where the UNT guy caught the ball laying on his back in the end zone. Called pass interference. I'm thinking to myself, I go, I really didn't see pass interference because I just didn't see it. Someone would have to say that's where the pass interference occurred. I saw 2 players very close, and I saw a North Texas wide receiver fall down on his own. He didn't get knocked down. He fell down on his own trying to come back for the ball, and he wasn't prevented coming back to the ball. So I don't see the pass interference. And Dadrian didn't pass interfere. Who was that, Danye? It was one of the Taylor brothers that kept their drive alive. No, he timed that perfectly. He might have had his hand on his shoulder, but he didn't turn him, and he didn't stop his momentum. But he had his hand on his shoulder, I mean, almost boom, boom. That means you're looking to throw pass interference. Roadrunners overcame 9 penalties to 6. That was something. That was something. That was really something. So the constant pressure that we put on Ani was, especially starting midway through the second quarter and then all the way through the rest of the game, was just impressive. It's the defensive output that this team needed against a very familiar foe. And when I say a very familiar foe, what I'm saying is North Texas knows us. We play them every year. This will be the 4th time in 3 seasons, right? 3rd time in 2 seasons. We had to vanquish them in the regular season, then we had to vanquish them in the championship game. Coach. Get his jumbo package. Or if Barnes had taken the 2nd and goal to the outside, or Frank just fake it and outrun him, right? Because that's what he did earlier. I mean, we converted 4th downs. We were 2 of 3 on 4th down. So, I mean, they were successful. We just didn't get that points there that could have burned us, right? But it didn't. Anyway, Roadrunners, that's my take, my views. And tell me what you think about Mayfield running down that running back from a dead stop. To me, that was impressive. To me, that was very impressive. Tell me what you think about the offensive coordination. Because I think this is probably, to be honest with you, for the moment, probably his best job as our Stein's best job as our offensive coordinator all season long. Of the 13 games he's been our official offensive coordinator, I think this has been his best one. Absolutely. We came out, we had a game plan, and just took it to him. Just took it to him. I think so. To score 48 points, I don't think they got many stops against us. They got the 4th and goal. We had to punt. I think. Hold on. Let me see how many times Lucas punts. Hold on. Don't go anywhere. Lucas punted twice for 83 yards, long of 46. He had that really short one. Yeah, so that's it. And then 3 stops. How many drives you get a game? This offense went out and they took it. I'm so happy for these kids to see back-to-back champions, right? See kids that are playing on this team that remember 4-9, remember 4-8, whatever it is, right? Remember 4-win seasons, 5-win seasons. And now they're leaving as back-to-back champions. Name them, right? Sackett is his first champion because he came back to us this year. Brendan Brady, back-to-back. Corey Mayfield, back-to-back. Maka, I think, is leaving us, or am I Tatafua? Maybe McDougall, because he's a redshirt senior. So we got a lot of kids leaving with a lot of hardware after a lot of hard work and heartache starting their careers. Frank Harris as a starter. It goes hand in hand, right? He's 30-9 as a starter. Coach Jeff Traylor is 30-9 as our head coach. That's pretty impressive. That's pretty impressive. And more importantly, whenever we've brought in backups, they haven't lost the game in their portion. They haven't been the ones that have lost the game in their portion, except maybe against Rice. But I think that was first-string Rice against our second-string defense at that point, right? But when it's been second-string, they haven't lost the game that I know of. That's coaching. That's getting the next man ready. And I got a chance to talk to Brendan after the game. I said, Brendan, and I got a selfie with him. I'll try to get it uploaded here. It went, iPhone Live, so I've got to turn it into a still shot, right? I got to stop it, screenshot it, anyway, it is what it is. And I said, I know it sucks that you weren't out there. I said, but you got us here. And I mean that. That's why what Kavorian did and his offensive line did was so impressive. But with Brendan being stable. Brendan, he was our leading rusher. Don't forget that. You wouldn't think he was, but he was our leading rusher. He's had some pretty substandard rushing stats. But it's about picking up the blitz. It's about getting out in the flat. It's right? And converting. Our offense was different. I think a lot of it has to do with you have to modify for what you do with what you have. And maybe we became a different, more complex football team with Tyke Ogle-Kellogg and only having Kavarian. Maybe. Because that was a different football team. You would not know. Nobody would know. You would have to tell them, we're down to left tackle number 4. We're down to right guard number 3, right? We're missing 3 running backs in this game, right? Because we are. You know, that's why Brendan came back. And Brendan. We're missing J.T. Clark. Nobody would know that by the way that team played. That was beautiful. Anyway, peace out, Roadrunners. Like, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you think about the game. Comment. And here's a thing out to Derek. You've commented on my phone, on my thing. And I'm going to give you a shout out. I'm going to mention you a thing. He said, hey, Le Medallion, right? Derek, my name's Tony. So if I see you again, my name's Tony. But on here, Le Medallion, it's all about marketing. It's about marketing. Look at me with my 38 subscribers. Anyway, it was nice meeting you, Derek. Peace out, Roadrunners.